What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and today I realized that my channel has been overwhelmingly skewed to team travel lately. While I am mostly on team travel right now with my strategies, I always like to maintain a great team cashback setup, which I use on and off. I refer to it as the cashback faucet. While it's oftentimes just running a little, sometimes I really turn it on and I start collecting that big time cashback. Today I want to go over the cashback cards I currently use, and then I want to mention a couple that I'd love to pick up for those quarters that demand cold hard American dollars. I'll go over some of the standard cards that generally make all the cashback lists, and I'll try to include some less mentioned ones. So if you are new to the channel, I talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you want to stay up to date on those things, subscribe to the channel. I post consistently and I'm always on topic. As always guys, if you get any value out of this video, slap that like button for me and the YouTube algorithm. I will absolutely appreciate it. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Some qualifiers for my list. Most cashback setups are primarily no annual fee cards. It's just not worth it for most folks to pay an annual fee that cuts into all that cash back pouring into the vaults. So for my list today, we are not doing annual fees. I'm also going to stick with cards that I feel most people can reasonably get, so no obscure credit unions. If you're interested in those types of cards, I'll have some material out soon that will help you with that. I'm also not including any cards that earn extra for being an elite member or keeping your accounts with the issuer, such as Bank of America. What is going to be a big factor is if the card has a bonus or not. Obviously, bonuses are going to be a big part of our yearly cash back. The last thing on my list is this needs to be actual cash back. Unless I'm wrong, all these cards issue cash back that can be moved into a special cash back vault that you can possibly swim in one day. No statement credit. Let's get some obvious ones out of the way first. I think we've all decided that any cashback system has room for the Citi Custom Cash Card. While I personally think it's a bit overrated on the interwebs, I have to admit this card has a purpose, and yes, I do have it. The Citi Custom Cash Card currently has a $200 bonus for spending $1,500 in the first 6 months of owning the card. And the card will earn 5% back on your highest spending category in each billing statement, up to $500. So basically, you pick a category such as gas, and this is the only thing you use the card for. It will get just 1% cash back on purchases outside the highest spend category. You don't have to register or choose a category. It just goes off your actual spending. This means the card is very versatile and you can change it up monthly if you need to. Besides gas, you can choose to use the card for restaurants, grocery stores, select travel, select transit, streaming services, drugstores, home improvement stores, fitness clubs, and live entertainment. So there's a lot to like with this card, and the categories should fit your spend. Right now, the card is offering an intro 0% APR on purchases for the first 15 months. Now, I generally recommend paying off your balances monthly, but I also realize life happens. So if you have to float a payment in 2023 and beyond, then you can do that with this card. Another card that you should have been expecting is the Chase Freedom Flex. Now, I'm fairly new getting back into the Chase ecosystem, but this really is a card for any cashback setup, but it does require some thought. The Chase Freedom Flex is one of those quarterly category cards, and I feel like Chase does this well, plus really ramps up the card with extras. The card grants the user a bonus of $200 for spending only $500 in 3 months. Too easy. The card earns 5% on rotating categories quarterly, and these categories are generally spending that fits most people. But they don't stop there. Although there is a $1,500 quarterly cap on those 5% categories, Chase is giving you 5% cash back at grocery stores for the first year, and that is capped at $12,000. Chase is also giving us 5% cash back on travel purchased through the Chase travel portal, 3% on dining in drugstores, and 1% on everything else. If that's not enough, this card also has a low intro APR of 0% for 15 months. Second, disclosure. Please don't run up a bunch of debt on your personal credit cards and plan to pay it down over 15 months. There are all kinds of reasons why this is a terrible idea, but let's just keep in mind that is not our game. Most folks in the cashback business want a floor of 2% cashback on all non-category spend. What I mean by that is if the purchase isn't a bonus category for any of your cards, then we want at least 2% cashback. For that, I'm going to make everyone feel obligated to comment about how they hate this issuer. For our 2% cashback card, I'm choosing the Wells Fargo Active Cash. Why? 2% cashback on all purchases and a $200 bonus for spending $1,000 in 3 months. This card also has the low intro APR, you guessed it, 0% for 15 months. Now, before you start your comments about how terrible Wells Fargo is, please tell me the last time you walked into a chapel, shrine, synagogue, mosque, or temple and saw a banker up there in the stained glass. After that, I want you to do a quick Google search of the atrocities of your favorite bank. At some point, you have to make this about money, and this card is a good one. Okay, now it's time for a curveball. This card is relatively new, but not all that well known. Let's talk about the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature. This card has a bonus of $100 in statement credit for spending $1,000 in 90 days. Now, I know we said no statement credit. I made an exception. Now, here's the interesting part, the multipliers. This card earns 5% cash back at grocery stores, 3% back at gas stations, EV charging, wholesale clubs, and pharmacies. There is a cap of $500 cash back earned from grocery stores and gas stations though, and this card has no foreign transaction fees. It's worth noting that you don't have to be a AAA member to apply for this card. So this one is surely a hidden gem. Okay, so now we've talked about the obvious, the hated, and the unknown. Let's get into the underrated. My all-time most underrated card is the US Bank Cash Plus card. The US Bank Cash Plus comes with a $200 bonus for spending just $1,000 in 120 days. Now, this is another rotating quarterly category card, but with the Cash Plus, you pick the categories and it earns 5% cash back with a larger cap of $2,000 each quarter. You also get 5% back when booking through the US Bank travel portal. Now, the interesting part about this card for me are the categories. You can pick 2 categories from the following list: fast food, home utilities, TV, internet streaming, that's all one category, cell phones, and many more. And you guessed it, low intro APR of 0% for 15 months. Now for our controversial pick. Next up, we have an offering from the evil empire, Amazon. We're talking about the Amazon Prime Rewards Visa. This card will earn the user 5% cash back from Amazon and Whole Foods. It does have a bonus. Being approved for the card will get you a $100 Amazon gift card. Now, the controversy will be from folks that state that this card is only for Amazon Prime customers and Amazon Prime has an annual fee. I don't see it that way. If you don't have Prime, then you likely don't shop enough at Amazon to even need this card. I consider this one no annual fee. The Amazon Prime membership stands on its own in my house. Now we are on to everyone's favorite first credit card, and yes, we're talking about the Discover It card. This is the other 5% cashback rotating category card. It's very similar to the Chase Freedom Flex, but without all the sizzle of the extras. 5% cashback on up to $1,500 per quarter on categories chosen by Discover. The bonus comes in the form of Discover doubling your entire first year of cashback, which could be substantial. I'm a big fan of the Discover card as a first card to really learn the ropes of the game, and I would definitely recommend this card for anyone building a cashback base. Okay, if I didn't set some folks off with the Wells Fargo Active Cash card, how about this pick? The Wells Fargo Autograph card. The card has a bonus of 30,000 points, which is basically $300 when you spend $1,500 in the first 3 months. The card earns 3% back on the following categories: restaurants, travel, gas, transit, streaming, and phone plans. That is a lot of 3X categories if you can stomach doing business with the bad guys. This one also has the 0% APR, but it's for 12 months. Now, this card also comes with cell phone protection up to $600, among other benefits not normally included in a no annual fee card. Now on to everyone's favorite second chance bank, meaning everyone seems to be giving them a second chance recently, Capital One. The Capital One SavorOne is one of the most underrated cards in the game. You can get $200 bonus for spending just $500 on the card in 3 months, and it earns 3% cash back on the following categories: dining, entertainment, streaming, and grocery stores. Now the card also earns 8% back on Capital One Entertainment, 10% back with Uber, 5% back in the Capital One travel portal, and 0% APR for 15 months. Wow, that is a lot of credit card for no annual fee. This one also has no foreign transaction fees, so this one comes highly recommended. Last one, guys, and after this, I hope you have enough recommendations to start thinking about a cashback strategy. The best part about cashback is you can get cards from different issuers, and there are just so many to choose from. With no annual fee cards, you never have to worry about keeping them open because they don't cost you anything. Finally, we come to the US Bank Altitude Go card. $200 for $1,000 spend, 90 days. We've heard that before. This card gets us 4% back on dining and has no foreign transaction fees. And predictably, it has a 0% APR for 12 billing cycles. Not much else to report, just a free 4% cashback card for food. Okay guys, that is the list I have for you to review today. Tell me in the comments which ones you have and which ones you want. Also, feel free to comment on how terrible Wells Fargo is, but remember, your favorite issuer will likely be in the news next week concerning something dreadful. Also, here's a tip to really put things together when you are retail shopping. I recommend using a cashback shopping portal like Rakuten. Rakuten is my favorite because I really don't have to keep an eye on them about every single purchase, and the cashback rates are generally better or at least competitive. Use my link in the description, sign up, and you'll get $30 cash back on your very first purchase of $30 or more. Do it, it's free money. Guys, that is all I have today. I wanted to get one out there for my brothers on Team Cashback. And if you've stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate you and I thank every single one of you.